It may sound surprising, but there are some subtle yet powerful ways to make a girl feel aroused and excited while sitting next to her. These techniques aren't overly complicated, but they do require a good understanding of body language, personal boundaries, and the right timing. If done correctly, they can create a strong sense of intimacy and attraction. Here's how to approach it in a natural and respectful way. Sit close to her. When you're with a girl you're attracted to, find a way to sit really close to her. You could casually bring up something like showing her photos on your phone or reading an interesting article. The physical closeness will create a sense of intimacy without being overtly sexual. By keeping it casual, you're giving her time to get comfortable with your proximity. The key here is to let the closeness feel natural. If you immediately sit too close or act awkward, it can come off as forced. Take your time and let her get used to the proximity. If she feels comfortable with the closeness, it's a good sign she's open to more. Keep her engaged in conversation. While you're sitting close, engage her in a conversation that keeps her interested. Don't jump into flirting or overtly sexual topics too soon, as this can raise her guard. Instead, talk about something you know she enjoys, whether it's a shared interest, a funny story, or an engaging topic. The more immersed she is in the conversation, the more relaxed she will be around you. Subtle touches and sitting close should not be the main focus at this point. By keeping her mind engaged, she'll become more comfortable, and the physical proximity will naturally feel less intimidating. The goal is to let her get used to the closeness without thinking too much about it. Slowly start flirting. Once she's comfortable and you feel a connection, you can gradually introduce light flirting. The key is to make it playful and nonchalant. Compliment her in a way that feels sincere and not overly focused on her physical appearance. Keep it light-hearted, maybe even a little teasing to gauge her reaction. The setting matters here as well. If you're in a place where both of you have to sit next to each other for an extended time, like during a long trip in a quiet cafe or a public place like a park, it gives you the chance to build this connection slowly. As long as you make her feel comfortable, things will naturally progress. Once you've established a comfortable rapport, you can start introducing subtle touches. This has to be done carefully and respectfully. A good way to start is by touching her fingers or brushing your hand against hers while handing her something. Complimenting her fingers or her hands can also make the interaction feel more natural and light-hearted. The important thing to remember is to take it slow. If at any point she feels uncomfortable, stop immediately and shift back to friendly conversation. You don't want to make her feel like you're rushing things. When done right, these subtle touches will build sexual tension without making her feel pressured. Whispering is a great way to increase intimacy without making any overt moves. This works especially well in situations where you're sitting close to each other in a setting that requires quiet conversation, like in a movie theater, on a bus ride, or when sitting next to each other in a quiet place. When you whisper, it creates a sense of intimacy because your voices are close and the sound of someone's breath in your ear is naturally stimulating. This can be particularly effective in public settings where the environment makes any outward display of affection subtle and covert, adding a sense of excitement. If the chemistry between the two of you is growing, you can try something more daring by finding an excuse to reach across her, like grabbing something from the table or pretending to adjust something near her. As you reach out, lightly graze her body, perhaps her arm or shoulder. The key here is subtlety. Don't be too obvious about it, and don't do this if the mood doesn't feel right. It's essential to read the room and her body language. If she's comfortable and has been responding well to your previous touches, this slight physical contact will help build the connection. Finally, pay close attention to her body language and how she responds to your touch and flirting. If she starts to lean closer, lowers her voice, or mirrors your movements, it's a good sign she's getting more comfortable with you and potentially feeling aroused. If she responds positively, you can continue with playful touches, flirting, and closeness. However, if she pulls away, seems distracted, or shows signs of discomfort, It's important to respect her boundaries and not push things any further. Maintaining respect for her comfort level is crucial in keeping the mood light and enjoyable for both of you. Making a girl feel aroused while sitting next to her is not about aggressive or overt moves. It's about creating an intimate atmosphere, respecting her boundaries, and making her feel comfortable and intrigued. If done right, this approach will naturally increase the sexual tension between you both. Remember, the key to success is patience, subtlety, and mutual enjoyment. By focusing on her comfort and responses, you can gradually build a strong connection that feels natural and exciting for both of you.